ME project started almost 9 years ago, and actually we started to really understand the ecosystem of energy efficiency in buildings in the 3 target countries. First phase really looking into what are the main barriers and why energy efficiency is not flying. One of the main recommendations was that financial resources are available, but the financial institutions are lacking the needed tools and instruments to understand what an energy efficient building is. And that was our starting point. So we have developed a comprehensive tool to assess energy efficient buildings. We have developed a baseline, a benchmarking to formulate energy performance certificates to really enable the financial institutions assessing energy efficient buildings. The main achievements, it takes a lot of stakeholder engagement to really have success in the countries, and each country is different. So really a country-specific approach is key. It's about really persistence as well. So you need to be as close as possible with the stakeholders, engaging, discussing, training, learning. We gave a lot of trainings to different stakeholders and really used a target group-specific approach here. We're able to really translate country-specific schemes. Finally, we're lucky to convince one of the key international donors, EBRD, to shortlist our tool, enabling, so to say, to touch upon their financial resources, which ended or resulted in a 10% cashback, which is offered right now in Jordan and Egypt, and hopefully will be offered in Lebanon once the situation is different or changed.
Of course, energy is a depleting resource. You need to make sure that you would have enough energy to fuel your life. So why buildings? Buildings is one big consumer of energy. So if the financial sector is going to step in and avail the capital needed to do this, who else would? So with the climate change issue being on the rise, all of a sudden the financial sector is part of this planet. They start to realize that climate finance is important. How to avail capital to reduce the negative impact of climate change. One element of that is the building sector. How do we make a building more intelligent? This is how the process works. Is it important to banks? Yes, of course, because a lot of developers that build buildings borrow money from banks. And eventually, if they want to make their buildings green, they're going to have to find somebody that would give them money for it.
المركز القومي للبحوث النووية والإسكان كان سباق في موضوع التحول للإسكان الأخضر والبنية المستدامة من 2008. قام بإعداد الكود البناء الأخضر، وقام عمل الدليل البناء الأخضر للمباني، وكود كفاءة الطاقة، وعمل العديد من الندوات والمؤتمرات الخاصة بإعادة استخدام المخلفات والتحول للبناء الأخضر. المركز الفترة الأخيرة كمان اشترك في موضوع وضع استراتيجية قومية للبناء الأخضر في مصر، وأعلن عنها فخامة الرئيس في مؤتمر الوف الأخير اللي كان في مصر. احنا شغالين مع IFC في برنامج بيلدينج كاباسيتي للناس اللي عندنا، بحيث يبقى اكسبرت في تقييم المواد اللي تشتغل في المباني عشان تبقى مستهلكة لطاقة أقل.
BuildMe will have a great impact on Jordan building sector by having more energy efficient buildings, and also by integrating, also adding more renewable energy to buildings. So by that we are aligned with the Jordan National Energy Strategy, and we will support achieving the targets of the strategy. Also, Jordan Economic Modernization Vision, which sees that sustainability is a key pillar and target for Jordan. So by that we will have a reduced energy bill for Jordan, especially that you are talking about high consumption of buildings. It accounts around 48% of electricity consumption. So accordingly, we will have more energy security and stability in the building sector.
So the opportunity is everywhere. If we look around us in Jordan and regionally and everywhere, if we're not in the streets, then where are we? We're in a building. So by changing the tiniest thing in a normal house, so such as the windows to double glazed windows, that has a direct saving on the electricity bill at the end of the month that the client pays. And therefore, you're creating a financial benefit to the client, and it makes complete financial sense. And then the second aspect is the asset value. When they do retrofit measures, or when the building from the scratch was built using energy efficient technology or equipment, then by default that raises their asset value. And for a bank, that's much more attractive. And it's also for older buildings, it's asset value preservation.
BuildMe has provided us with a very simple and easy tool to use as constructors to guide us in how to implement energy, renewable energy or sustainable energy in our buildings. So the biggest milestone we've achieved so far is that we have a preliminary EPC within just 6 months. We're looking forward to implement the guidance from the BIP tool in BuildMe to achieve the final EPC.
6 years ago, we were dreaming of having a tool that is reliable, internationally recognized from the EBRD, and it's applicable in Egypt by HBRC, which is the technical arm not only for the Ministry of Housing, but rather for the whole government. One of the key outputs or the outcomes from BuildMe project is how to measure the energy efficiency with a simplified tool. It's a web-based, it's free of charge, it's available to all the Egyptians. It's not a project for the HBRC alone and the Ministry of Housing, but we extended our collaboration to the Ministry of Electricity, and part of them are attending our today's workshop, and we can learn from each other. I was saying on the last session that we learned from the Kingdom of Bahrain about the installation of building. Collaboration means success.
We've worked with BuildMe since 2020, starting with the PAP tool and then as a pilot project, and now concluded in 2025 with actually obtaining the certificate, the EPC certificate. Now we have sort of a measure of the baseline, what we have, what can be done better, and actual measures, very, very clear measures that we can do to this specific type of building to make it more energy, have a better energy performance. Actually, the most significant learning from being a part of BuildMe was that we got introduced to a lot of people outside of our normal circles. As for instance, from different countries within the region, Jordan, Lebanon. It was good to know what the other challenges that other countries are facing, not just our challenges.
المباني ما قبل 2004 كانت تفتقر للحد الأدنى من مقومات ترشيد الطاقة والتوفير باستهلاك الطاقة للأبنية الموجودة. صدر القانون بال 2004، قانون البناء أو الكود بيلدينج كود، صدر بال 2004 وعطى حوافز مقابل جدران مزدوجة، مقابل دبل جليزنج، يعني يكون الزجاج كمان مزدوج للفتحات إن كان نوافذ ولا أبواب. وبالتالي هالحوافز حسنت شوي بشكل خجول عملية استهلاك الطاقة وترشيد استهلاكها. هون دور البيلتمي، قديش نحط معايير ومقاييس لحتى نحفز هالأشخاص اللي عم يتعاطوا بهالشأن، يصير في نوع من معايير منتظمة وثابتة للجميع، مش معايير تختلف من شخص لشخص ومن مشروع لمشروع. هون أهمية BuildMe والشغل والجهد اللي عم بحطوه LCEC أو المركز الطاقة اللي موجود مع التنظيم المدني، مع مديرية التنظيم المدني ومع كل الجهات اللي فاعلة. وكمان صار المجلس الأعلى للتنظيم المدني والهيئة المعمارية وغيرها من الإدارات صارت مرتاحة أكثر لما عم تطلب متطلبات للأبنية، وخاصة الأبنية للمشاريع الكبرى ينفرض عليها أقل جزء من الطاقة تكون طاقة نظيفة، وخاصة طاقة توليد الطاقة عبر ألواح الطاقة الشمسية.
In the BuildMe project, we addressed two main challenges related to the building sector. First of all, the lack of clear regulations related to implementation of energy efficiency measures in buildings. That's why in the BuildMe project, we've laid a solid foundation for an energy performance certificate scheme or an EPC scheme, which promotes the implementations of energy efficiency in buildings. That's why Build Me helped us conduct trainings across Lebanon for project developers, financial institutions, engineers, architects on the various environmental and financial impact of energy efficiency in buildings. We have 78 EPC experts in total, of which we have also 26 EPC auditors. All of them are ready to take part in the EPC scheme.
The Build Me project highlighted key policy takeaways. At first, the integration of the BEP tool into the LCC's web platform has reinforced the importance of digitalization in energy efficiency policy making. The tool will help stakeholders to assess energy performance in the buildings more effectively. And likewise, partnerships with the Order of Engineers and Architects in Beirut and Tripoli reinforced the local collaboration between the national associations.
Before Build Me, the biggest challenge that developers, they would lack the certificate, they would lack the proof that they would present to the end user that their buildings, their constructions are performing better, are saving money on the long term. And that I think what also Build Me managed to do is to introduce that small change, but huge when it comes to structural impact. Well, the challenges Egypt faced when it comes to energy efficiency ranges, I think, between technological, social, political, economic, of course. Contractors, labor, vendors, they got used to certain techniques and they just follow. It's kind of an incentive towards developers and users, contractors to go more into that direction of being certified as more energy efficient. One challenge that we faced was the fear of introducing such a tool and whether it would fail, like many other codes and so on and so forth that were introduced before and still, there, but they are not active. Is our suggestion that please introduce it as voluntary tool. Introduce incentives rather than obligations and penalties. I think that's a great achievement. It's something that would make energy sense available. We're not here for a personal cause, it's for good cause for everybody beside the environment. And you need to provide the platform for the discussion and the dialogue and to convince people that Build Me and what it brings into the game as EPC and the PEP tool is actually bringing benefits to all.
The IKI support was key definitely for that project. So, and the long-term execution of this project was also key. So we are lucky that IKI has extended the project lifetime 2 times. So having now 3 phases and being active for almost 9 years was really needed. Build Me is phasing out, but we have from the very beginning of the 3rd phase started with the exit strategy. So all our projects deliverables are really conceived in a sustainable manner. That means the project tool or main deliverable, the tool and the EPC scheme will be handed out to the local counterparts and will be managed by the local scheme operators. That means in that sense the instrument and the scheme is available and can be further scaled up.